What's going on, guys? Back here with another YouTube video, and in this video we have some major news. It's concerning both the coronavirus and also how the market reacted to these news. So today Pfizer announced that their vaccine that they have been developing has a 90% effective rate and had an efficiency rate higher than 90% at 7 days after the second dose, which means protection is achieved 28 days after a person begins vaccination. The vaccine requires 2 doses, and the U.S. and Drug Administration has said it would expect at least 50% efficiency rate from any coronavirus vaccine. So this is well above their minimum standard. So now let's relate this back to how the market reacted to this news. So we noticed when this happened, Zoom had a massive drop. This could be partly due to the news because Zoom has profited so much during the quarantine because everyone had to work remotely from home and even schools went online. This caused Zoom to have this amazing uptrend during the pandemic. However, when this news came out, there was a vaccine that had a high success rate, Zoom just tanked it. You notice that we just gapped down. On Friday, we closed at, what was that? Around $500, and then we just saw a massive gap down. We even hit lows of 401. That's almost $100 move. I think that Zoom gapped down because not many people will need it anymore if there is a vaccine. So if they're actually going to their jobs in person, and the same goes with students, they won't really need this service as much. So that's why we saw this huge gap down. If they go back on campus, then the service won't be as needed as it was during this pandemic. So that is why I think we saw this huge aggressive sell-off that was 17%. Overall, though, I still believe that Zoom is an amazing company, and this might have been a bit of an overreaction. We will just have to see how it reacts in the upcoming days and weeks as we get new information with news regarding this vaccine. But like I said, Zoom just had this amazing run up since the pandemic happened. So back in April we had this general sell off that we had with all of the stocks, but then it was exponential. It had an exponential uptrend. But now, since this news came out about the vaccine, we just gapped down and we lost 17% today, which was $86. So we closed at $413. That's just a massive move. And there's another stock I want to talk about, and that is Peloton. So another stock that has been popular and really benefited during this pandemic is Peloton. Peloton is an exercise equipment company that specializes in bikes which you do at home. Today, it also took a really big hit. It lost over 20% of its value and fell a whopping $25. It has hit highs of around $140, and now it is barely holding this $100 mark. So overall, I think the news of this vaccine really hurt these companies because the COVID virus will now, if the vaccine is truly effective as claimed, will not cause as many deaths, which will let people begin to go back to work in their office or students to go back on campus, and finally for people to get back in gyms instead of exercising at home. So that's why I think also why the NASDAQ sold off due to these news, because the NASDAQ is compiled of tech companies, and so more people will be going to their jobs, and they might not be using services such as Amazon as much and things that you would normally use more at home. So while we're at this, let's take a quick look at retail, see how that did today. And even retail sold off. So across the board, even the physical brick and mortar stores, they sold off too. So today was just a big sell-off day. Even though having a vaccine is good news, it still caused the market to sell off. And mainly, it really affected these stocks that benefited from people staying at home. So coming into the next days and weeks, we'll actually see how effective this COVID virus is and if it'll be widely used. Other than that, I think that this might have been much of an overreaction, but like I said, we will just have to see in the upcoming weeks. So I'm back here in the next day, and as you can see, Zoom gapped down once again. So yesterday I was talking about how Zoom gapped down from $500 on Friday, and it gapped down to around, what was that? I think 446, 431, and closed at 412. Well, today it did it even again. As you can see, we opened up here at 413, and we just did a massive gap down, and we even hit lows of 364, and now it has started to recover a little bit since the earlier this morning, but we are still down another 7%, so another $31. So this is massive for Zoom. It's just losing a lot of market cap over these last 2 days. And now let's take a look at Peloton and see how that's doing, because I mentioned that earlier as well. Once again, that gap down again as well, not as massive as Zoom did, but it still gapped down 1%. So that's not a lot compared to what Zoom has, but it still has been affected due to this vaccine news. But like I said, Zoom is one of the major ones that have taken a hit, just because people think that this vaccine is coming out and people will not be using Zoom as much. And overall, today is another red day on the Nasdaq. However, I think this is a dip buy, and that we will start to uptrending soon in the upcoming days. But once again, I just wanted to give y'all an update on how Zoom did. Even today, it did another gap down, but I'm still hopeful that Zoom will recover, and this just is still an overreaction. But anyways, if you like this video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know what videos you want to see in the future. But anyways, thanks again for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.